Take one look at my Minecraft city, and you'll notice that there is a lot of water. So it would only make sense to fill up the water with as much detail as the actual city itself. Well, in today's episode of building San Almendro, my build team and I are taking to the seas and building a massive cruise ship to go in our beautiful cruise terminal. Well, there's going to be a terminal here soon. It's just not there yet. Come along with us as we make a giant cruise ship fit for the best Minecraft vacation ever. We are getting started here on a separate world. This is actually our test world where we test out our builds and all that fun stuff, because we did not want to build this cruise ship floating in the water quite yet, because building in water is very annoying. And why build in water where you can just build on dry land and then use World Edit and teleport this cruise ship over into the water when we're done with it? And that's exactly what we're going to do here. So you can see very much dry here. We are in our own dry dock. And you can see how far back this thing goes. This is how long the cruise ship is going to end up being. So this is a pretty chunky boy here. And big shout out to Simonecraft real quick for building this beautiful hull here. If you don't know what a hull is, it's the bottom part of any boat that kind of keeps it floating, keeps the water out. And that's what we're working on right now. So big shout out to him. A lot of curves here. Looked very difficult. And it turned out beautiful. Got a nice little bulbous bow right there. Get a good zoom in on that, editor. I'm the editor, so I'm just telling myself to zoom in on that. One more zoom in on that. There we go. Beautiful. Now let's move on from that before it gets weird. And we're going to start moving towards the back of the ship. The middle is pretty easy to build. It's just the front and the back, because they are the most complex, obviously, with all the curves and all the crazy stuff going on here. So we're going to finish up here at the front, and then we're going to fly to the back here real quick. You can see we got a long ship to work with here. We got a fun, action-packed episode. So here's the back, the stern of the ship. Bunch of curves, not as complex as the front, but still pretty complex. So we're getting some nice curves there, and then I'll get the azipods and the propellers built up down below. You probably won't see very well here, but I'll make sure to get some shots of it. So there we go with that beautiful ship, and that is most of the hull pretty much completed. Once I flip it over to the other side, we will get started on the actual superstructure, which is all the stuff above the hull, which you can see us building right now in the yellow wool. And you will see in the background every now and then another cruise ship. That is not part of the video. That's just what we use for testing out things and designs and seeing what works and what doesn't work. But the main deal is what you can see front and center of the screen. So just focus on that. Don't focus on that background boat whenever it comes into view. It's not important. But here we go, getting the superstructure all built up in this yellow wool. This is all going to be full of rooms, casinos, restaurants, and all that fun stuff that you're going to see us build in this video. And while we're here, I'm going to give a big shout out to all the guys who helped out on this build, because this was quite a big build. So a big shout out to TheChillCat, Simonecraft, obviously, who built the beautiful hull, Hamburger Mukbang, and Bearfork. Shout out to all those guys for helping out building this cruise ship. And you can see it's already coming together pretty fast. We got some lifeboats already here built by Simonecraft. We got a nice coloring. You can see we got the bottom colored white, then we got that black line, and then the white cruise ship. We're going to add a nice little livery paint job to the side of it at the very end of the video, so stay tuned for that. But here we are getting all the windows and all the balconies and all that fun stuff built up. You can see that giant window right there on the side of the ship. We're actually going to teleport inside of there right now. So great timing there. And this is actually the atrium of the cruise ship. So this is the main lobby, the grand hall, if you will. So we got a nice staircase right there. And this is a 3-floor atrium. So this thing turned out pretty big. And if you look to the center of the screen, you will see a beautiful pillar blocking the entire view. I love the way that pillar looks, so I just wanted to make sure that you guys got a extra good look at it. And we're gonna get some light in here momentarily, so you'll be able to see a little bit better. But for now, it looks a little bit dark. It will be lit up here in just a second. We're getting some basic details done on the floor and all that stuff, coloring up all of the temporary wool blocks that I had, so it doesn't look like a circus in here. And now you can see it's kind of a more obvious now that it's a 3-floor atrium with all the lights inside. And you can see in the background the big giant window looking out at our test cruise ship over to the side. Don't look at it, even though I keep acknowledging it. Don't look at the test cruise ship. That's not important. But you can see TheChillCat right now, actually, in the center of the screen, building that beautiful chandelier. And then I am running around like a chicken with my head cut off, filling in all the rest of the details. Nice little furniture, some seating areas, a nice little stage there, and then I'm going to come in here and get a nice little bar right next to that grand staircase, right nudged in between the stairs there. So that's going to look pretty cute. And then we're going to be pretty much done with this atrium. You can see it looks big and grand and beautiful and awesome. And I'm really happy with how this thing turned out. But now that we're finished with the atrium, we're going to come off to the side here and work on this little shopping area row with a bunch of stuff you can buy, all your fun shopping, all your fun knickknacks and your gifts and your duty-free items. But before that, we're actually going to work on this little Irish-themed pub here. So I guess you come in here, get some beer, get your drinks, get all that fun stuff. You can see it's very dark, very green, very, yeah, I guess dark is the best word to use for that one. But we're done with that now. We're coming over to the actual shops that I mentioned before. So you can see this nice little long row of shops. And while we are doing this, I should say that the references that we all used and took inspiration from. So some of the inspiration references, we use the Diamond Princess, which is a cruise ship of Princess Cruise Lines. The Carnival Mardi Gras, which is a big old fat cruise ship. You'll see in the back of the ship, we took inspiration from Royal Caribbean ships with the sort of back open area with a stage. But that's a spoiler alert, because that's going to be later in the video, so I'll bring that up again, the Royal Caribbean stuff, when that comes up. But we took inspiration from a lot of different cruise lines, a lot of different ships. This little shopping area, the Carnival cruise ships have quite a bit, like that tiny little area that you just saw. This is a casino. I took inspiration from, I guess, no cruise ship at all, because every cruise ship has a casino, and they're all different, so I kind of just did my own thing here, added a bunch of slot machines, and added a bunch of table games, blackjack, roulette on the right there, and then, yeah, it just looks like a big old fat adult arcade. Lose all your money, gamble, put it on black, and, yeah, have a great old time in there. That was pretty fast there, but now we're coming to the dining room, which this whole dining room here was built by TheChillCat. So shout out to him. He made a beautiful looking dining room. You can see it's a 2-floor dining room. We got this nice open area in the center, and you got some beautiful chandeliers up there in the ceiling. And now he is coming and sort of mapping out the whole dining hall area with all the tables and stuff, and where he wants the tables to be set up at. And then he's going to come in a moment and start detailing each table up. So it's going to look fantastic. You're not just going to have these wool blocks sitting everywhere. There you go. You got some nice chair designs, nice table designs. Even the smallest things, down to the tables, are detailed fully on this boat. So we got a great build team here. Big shout out to everybody. I know I shouted them out, but shout out to everybody. They're all great builders, and you can see it shows here. But after this, we are going to go ahead and head on over to the next big section of the boat. We're just going left, right, everywhere, up, down. We're doing the whole shebang here. So we are coming to the front of the ship here, and this is the theater. So you get live performances here. I don't know, a bunch of, information stuff, shows, concerts, whatever you want to do in here. This is a 3-floor auditorium, theater, whatever you want to call it. And this whole thing was built by Hamburger Mukbang, so big shout out to him. He made a beautiful looking theater. So he's making half of the theater right now, and then he's just going to flip it over to the other side using World Edit, because that's what you can do. And there's no need to build 2 halves when they're symmetrical down the middle. And you can just build 1 half and then flip it over to the side, and it looks perfect and beautiful and pretty. And it does look a little dark in here, so the light's going to come up at the very last moment of this clip. So we'll get some cinematics at the end of the video in this theater with the full lights and all that fun stuff. But you can still see quite a bit here. You can see all the beautiful seating and the big stage right there, and the wall details and the ceiling details, and it all looks super cool. I'm really happy with the way this looks, so big shout out to Hamburger Mukbang for that one. And now we are going to come into the next area, which is going to be really fast here. This is the bridge of the ship. So I threw this together real quick. There I am, Mr. Pig in the suit. That's me. And just a cute little bridge here, nothing too crazy. I used some maps and diagrams online to see how bridges are laid out. So I think I got a pretty decently accurate bridge there. Now we're coming up to the upper decks, the open air section of the ship. And we're adding some pools, some seating areas, some lounging areas, get some sun. sunbathe, have a great old time. And right now we're getting the pool all detailed up. You can see all of the loungers that we're going to have here. And then we got all these different levels and stuff if you want to go up to the very tippity top and get some extra sun. Or if you want to go down, stay below, get a little bit of shade. And yeah, this is a cute little place. This might be my favorite spot on the boat right here just because it looks so cool. I love the vibe of it. And then there will be some palm trees in that area as well. They didn't get on camera because I think they were like very last second. But there are palm trees in that little area. And then this is in front of that pool area. You can see that dome right there. It was in the last clip. This is just the complete other side of the dome. And you can see at the very front there, I built in this little basketball court at the top there in that little covered area. So that's kind of cute. That's kind of fun. Got a little basketball area. And then you can see me adding the radar and all that stuff right there. Beautiful, beautiful. We got all that, and then we're going to come up here and add like a little secondary pool area. In just a second, I'm actually working on a little interior like play area with like some pool tables and foosball and all that, and then there's the pool area. So it's like a little secondary pool area if you don't want to be in the hustle and bustle of that main area. This is just like a little second, maybe a little bit quieter of an area, you know. So that's pretty cool. And then we're going to come after the there's the palm trees on that part. And now we're coming to the back of the boat here, and we're adding this water park, this big giant water park with all these water slides going everywhere, every which direction. You can see there's 4 water slides here, and they all turned out super cool. I actually threw this together in about like 20 minutes, so I'm really happy with how these turned out. I just made a bunch of random curves and turned them into water slides, and I think they turned out really cool. And there we go. You can see all that fun stuff. And then we're going to end up adding a ropes course going around the perimeter of this area. So if you watch on the edges, you'll see us getting these giant pillars set up and then setting up each little like sort of obstacle course thing. They have those on Carnival cruise ships. I don't know if they have it on other cruise ships. I'm sure they do. But Carnival was the inspiration we took for that one. So that turned out really cool. Yeah, we're going to come to the back here. And then this is the part that I was talking about referencing Royal Caribbean. So we have this kind of open air cutout right down the middle of the back of the boat. This is a garden that was built by ChillCat and Bearfork. And this thing turned out pretty cute. They're going to end up adding some palm trees and some regular trees, some deciduous trees, some pine trees, a little bit of everything in here. And this is a nice little area. It has a nice vibe to it. But then if we come to the very, very back of the ship, which is just behind the camera, you'll see we're going to add a stage and a little amphitheater here, which is on a lot of the Royal Caribbean ships. So we did take heavy inspiration from Royal Caribbean on this back section here. So we got a beautiful stage there and a lot of seating. And then a nice little covered area, and then some more trees. And then we're just detailing this out with a lot of greenery, and then this is a super cool area. And then we're going to finish off here with one final clip of the interior with a cute little spa area. So nothing too crazy going on back here, just some nice little relaxing areas to hang out. We got some little pool areas, hot tubs, spa area. It's a general spa. Alright, now we're going to come onto the outside here and detail up the bow of the ship a little bit. This is a design made by Simon Craft, so shout out to him for this cute design. Got a nice little helipad here. And then the final part of the actual ship that we're going to work on here is the livery and the paint job for the outside. So this turned out pretty cute in the end. I'm really happy with the way this turns out. Now we have this cruise ship, but we do need a spot to put it in. And the spot that we decided to put it in is right here, right next to the bridge, right next to our shipping port and across from our downtown area. And we're gonna build a beautiful cruise terminal right here, so we need to get into that right now. And this is the beautiful spot for our terminal. We're gonna start clearing out some area, or I guess clearing out some water, because the dock is mostly on water. It's kind of half on water, half on land, the terminal. And then here's the actual building itself. It's not a huge building. It's just enough to support this one major cruise ship. And then there's a spot on the side there for a smaller vessel. Maybe not a huge cruise ship size, but it's big enough for a little something over there. But here is the actual building. We got a nice glass wall here. And then the bridges to access the boat. So from the building to the boat right there, we got that bad boy. And then I'm actually going to duplicate it. So we have 2 of those, and then I'm doing a little bit of this roof detailing here, and adding these nice skylight windows here, and some nice little solar panels and stuff like that. And then we're going to work on the inside here and get the actual interior of this bad boy all detailed up and prettied up. You can see we got all these different levels here. There's just 2 levels, and there's a level below that's going to be like the maintenance level and all that stuff, where all the machinery and all the big forklifts and stuff will be stored. But that's pretty much what we got here for this basic terminal. I'm really happy with how this one turned out. It's a nice modern style, and I think it looks really cute. And there we go. We're going to get in some awesome cinematics of this boat. This thing turned out super awesome, and I love the way it looks. Big shout out to all the guys who worked on it. You guys are the best. But enjoy these cinematics, guys. And let me give a big thank you to all of my patrons. Thank you so much for supporting me. I really do appreciate it. And a big fat thank you to my $10 supporters, Bacon Man Blazip, Local Nerd, and Walker Army. Thank you guys so much. Have a great day. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the next video on my channel. And until then, goodbye!